They say they dropping locations. We get it done. Go get your. The feds will come. I don't respond to Vaughn. Like, mm, mm, mm. It don't matter. Mm, mm, mm. I don't respond to. Go get your gun. That doggone Durk. See something real quick. Hey, that what Durk say? We gotta get back on their ass. I know they know this. He said they gotta get back. I know they know this. That's what that boy Durk said. He said we gotta get back. I know they know this. You can say what you want. I got your folks hit. Boy, Durk need to stop it, boy. Durk, boy, you need to stop it. But so you can say what you want. I did. Got your folks hit, boy. They dropping locations. We getting it done. What's up, Daniel? Salute to Daniel in the building. Salute to Daniel. No cap. We gotta get ready to slide into this real quick. Salute to that boy Daniel, man. No cap. Salute to everybody in that bit. They dropping locations. We getting it done. That boy said they dropping location. We getting it done. All right, let's get to some of the news though, man. Nolan Wells update. Austin Metcalf daddy has had enough. Jeff Metcalf. Lil Durk trial. First we'll get into let's get into that boy Durk first, and then we finna hop into this Nolan Wells. Let's hop into this Lil Durk situation. And then we'll hop into we're gonna hop into this Carmelo, then Nolan Wells. Either one. Let's go. Let's turn up, gang.
12 years. Yeah. So much money. We really just getting that shit in order, just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
This shit feels so good, man. 2 lawyers, man.
I tell you about the building you got.
Everything.
Man, it's closed on the building, man. We ain't fucking around.
Say it ain't so. Fam, say it ain't so. Listen, first and foremost, to all the bloggers out there on foot in LA doing their reporting, gathering notes, and bringing it to their audience, I salute you. In fact, I salute you so much. You inspired me and the family TV so much that we're going to start going to these trials. And if not me personally, I'm going to start paying people to be out there on behalf of the family TV. But let's continue. Fam, this is an update to the Lord Durk murder for hire trial. Here's the thing. We talked about this 48 hours ago. We expected to follow up the next day, but that's because we thought OTF Jam, the person we all waiting to hear from, was going to testify that day. Well, it wasn't yesterday, but today's the date. And not only that, which we'll get to, but we also will later find out, allegedly, who co-conspirator 4 is. Now, we all thought it was Brick Baby, the rapper / co-host that be on No Jumper. But it turns out we might be wrong from the jump. What if I told you the person who co-conspirator 4 is, he was already an informant for the YSL case. He was part of YSL, then Thug gave him the dirt. Remember Durk said, I told Thug he could have been on that YSL, Rico? Well, it turns out somebody who he signed on behalf of Thug might have been co-conspirator 4, which he possibly already knew based on dropping them from his label. Now, this person came back rapping after the first cooperation, so I'm not trying to ruin his career, but we're going to state the facts, and I'm going to let you put two and two together. On top of that, it seemed like Durk knew Jam was telling all along. You know what they say, keep your enemies close, right? That's what Durk was doing, according to the feds. Now, Trap Lil Rawls came out and said that OTF Jam was expected to talk about multiple murders. Now, according to the feds, we got the exact number, 3. We'll later see exactly what murders he was allegedly involved in according to his testimony. And on top of all that, we find out exactly when was the first time OTF Jam was talking to the feds. Then we got somebody who's giving out tweets and answers as they being told on the stand. So it's pretty live as we record this right now. So this video might sound a little shaky, but I want y'all to bear with me. Chop Lil Rawls got bodyguards outside the courtroom. You know this is serious.
I'm telling you, I see.
You made a folly, a boogaboo, where you said
I seen it when he had them
Lil
bodyguards.
Durk is blaming everything on Vonnie. The person
That's
knows.
what
Listen,
said, Dave, what
but
said.
no,
I can't do this right now,
but
bro. I
listen,
appreciate that.
I want you to clear it. No, I need you to clear that up. I need you to,
That's what I
brother.
said in court, bro.
But no, that's not what's said in court. That's the legal team. Vonnie took. Listen, why are you running, my guy? This is what I'm saying. Vonnie, listen. This all.
Just coming out before and giving you guys the updates as soon as I possibly can. Yes, sometimes the prosecution is going to say things that aren't true. Sometimes the defense is going to say things that aren't true. Ryan Steele said several things that are...
That boy got bodyguards out there, bit now. That boy got bodyguards out there now, boy. You better. I said you must heard my lie
But
earlier.
now, on a serious note,
I meant yesterday.
We'll see what Jam had to say.
But I know you heard my lie.
Update. LA Times
Get you
got
some
a
bodyguard.
reporter who's been doing an outstanding job. I've been listening to. I want to hear her update from day 2. From yesterday, and I'll let you guys hear what she had to say, and then we'll get caught up on what took place today. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. I realized I was probably overpaying for car insurance.
That's enough.
Like every year, it just kept going up and up.
All right,
I never really questioned it.
Let's get into the meat and
Insurance
potatoes.
company count on that.
Let's go.
Monk.
Just know who you were. I was younger than I know.
And do you have a friendship or a relationship with him?
Not a strong bond, but we know each other.
And do you see him here today?
No, actually. Oh, yeah, I see him now.
And if you identify him as well?
I can't see what he got on. He just got a dreads up
Okay.
in the air.
And, right. Is he towards the back of the room, the front of the room, or
In
somewhere
the
else?
back.
Who he telling on, gang? Let me know in the
And how do
chat.
you know-
Tell me.
Who was that they just showed, gang? Let me know in the chat.
And right now, get 0% financing for 5 years on all.
All you dirt scholars out here.
And that wrong with saying why I said the game. I done play a gift to why I said gang trouble folk. I been down the road for why I said gang trouble folk. They know we're a gang already. You feel me? They what these older niggas saying, you feel me? Who done did this shit before.
That boy
So
been slamming shit out.
they made me feel like, okay, bet shit, they know. You know what I'm saying? They know what's right. They know why I said the gang. These folk don't play a gift to this type of shit before. They niggas done been down the road for it. They niggas done been on the road for it. Duke on probation for it. Yeah, done did time for it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Why I said it's got anything wrong with that, you feel me? So that's when I go to my lawyer, like, all right, bet. I admit that and say, well, I said it was a gang. But my whole standpoint on it was, because other niggas still fucked up. It's some shit I wouldn't ever took or said, you feel me? But my whole thing was like, okay, why I said it was a gang, it's not illegal to be a gang, is it, mister? I'm talking to my lawyer. No, it's not illegal to be in a gang. But it's a RICO if you're in a criminal street gang, you feel me? So I'm asking him, which questions on my deal admits to a criminal street gang. So it's one question on there that say, I have personal knowledge that YSL
They say he did
members commit
visible.
these such crimes for the gang, you feel me?
And
Like
the
that?
furtherance of the gang.
Right, okay. And if you go look and pull up my thing or whatever,
He ain't the only one.
mine never say I have personal knowledge that anybody commit any type of crime, because I never been a part of no crime. I never seen no crime. I never knew anybody that did anything crime. That's what I'm standing on.
My fam never slammed like shorty. And there's even 2 questions he gotta answer. Did you tell the feds that you text Duty Low Quando Rondo address? Or did you let Lord Durk know that the feds got your phone, which might contain explicit text messages indicating that you giving out the drop on the Savannah, Georgia rapper connected to NBA YoungBoy Quando Rondo? Co-conspirator 4 could be one other person as well, but we'll later get to that. And we'll later see how it could allegedly be Slime Life Shawty as well. And we know the feds had his phone. But in 60 seconds, for those who don't know Slime Life Shawty, he's from the same neighborhood as Young Thug, Cleveland Avenue. And growing up around YSL, he naturally became heavily affiliated with the camp and rapped the slime culture in his music. Looking back, Thug made a new why. Despite his deep ties to Young Thug and YSL, Slime Life Shawty never officially signed to YSL Records due to the prior paperwork entanglements. Instead, his emotional street melodies caught the attention of Chicago superstar Lord Durk. Young Thug co-signed, and the rest was history, alongside Alamo Records. But after the 2022 RICO, Lord Durk just never contacted Slime Life Shawty again.
I wouldn't either.
Some would consider
They told me after the YSL Rico, Lil Durk ain't talk to him again. I wonder why. You'd like something,
2 year
guys.
span of
I wonder why.
Lord Durk, he jumped click to click. But I had to give people at least that rundown so they could understand the context of the text messages that was presented in court today. Now, the day that King Von had died, a text message was sent from Slime Life Shawty to Duty Low. It was November 6, 2020. Slime Life Shawty said, "Keep your head up, Slime. I know the pain. I'm with you 4L, drilling about this shit. Duty Low, I love you, Slime. SLS, I love you back, Slat. It's up about this shit. On 11/7/2020, Slime Life Shawty, where you at, Slime? Low, crib, call me. SLS, Blake sends Quando Rondo's phone number. 11-9, Low, gang, SLS. I know a nigga who from Savannah who got drops. That's him? Want his number? Low, yeah, SLS, send phone number." Now, the only way the feds got this message was either through Slime Life Shawty phone or Duty Low. And that's who co-conspirator 4 is.
This fuck.
Cause knowing him, like he like smart as hell.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like even when it comes to street stuff, he don't be sloppy. He don't be, you know what I'm saying? So that was surprising. Not saying that it's true. But
Yeah,
I'm just
no, I
saying
got
the
you.
fact that he was in it is surprising because it was like he know better. You know what I'm saying? Because I done heard him talk like, you know what I'm saying? I know
Hell
him.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's surprising, but I don't think it's even. I think he gonna get out of it for real.
Praying for him and his family.
I think it's like that how they make. You know how they gonna
Yeah,
always
of
take the
course.
narrative.
Of course.
They say,
Now next is OTF Jam, but first, shout out to Michael Blackshy, the journalist who's been keeping us updated within the court buildings via X. They said that Casey Hester, OTF Jam, first spoke to investigators in May of 2023 at Statesville Correctional Center. FBI agent John Fembley confirmed in court. FBI agent used Cellbrite to retrieve text messages shown in court of Lord Durk going back to
I appreciate that gift,
2020.
Teddy.
Prosecutors also showed a group text message in 2023 that included Lord Durk, OTF DD, and OTF Booney Mo, who all knew at the time OTF Jam was telling. It was also noted that Lord Durk changed his number 17 times in 2020 up until now. In court, still, Lord Durk's attorney quoted a rat, a snitch.
Salute everybody in that bit. Y'all drop down where y'all from, gang. We 13 minutes in.
Person, still, and you know you have to be careful with people like that. And when I say that, I mean Mr. Hester, Mr. Jones, Mr. Grant. A group text message from 2023 discussing OTF Jam. Lord Durk quoted, "He gonna tell soon. OTF DD, he think he could break us down.
Shout out to New York.
Feds be going to talk to
Shout out to
everybody.
Seattle.
Lord Durk, as long as we don't break, they can tell him whatever."
Shout out to Arkansas.
That was last for the detective. Next was OTF Jam. He got on the stand and testified. The first question, did you participate in the shooting on August 19, 2022, leading to the death? Surveyor Robinson, OTF Jam, yes. Prosecutors, the others in the room participate as well? OTF Jam, yes. Prosecutors, can you name them? Hester, Durk, Didi.
Oh,
It
man.
was also alleged that OTF Jam.
Oh, man. That boy just went to naming, didn't it? That boy went to naming, didn't it? Hold up. That boy went to naming.
Yes, prosecutors. The others in the room participate as well.
Shout out to
OTF
Statesville.
Jam. Yes. Prosecutors. Can you name them? Hester, Durk, Dee Dee, and Lizzie. It was
Oh,
also
man.
alleged that OTF Jam discussed how he knew King Von when he was younger because of his sister. Prosecutors asked, were you trying to talk to a sister at the time? OTF Jam. Yes, while smiling. Prosecutors. Did Lord Durk keep up with you while you was in prison? OTF Jam.
You grind me summer. You know what? I ain't gonna do it. You trying to hook up with my sister?
I ain't gonna lie. When Lord Durk changed his number,
Trying to hook up with the gang sister. Von, what Von? That was Von's sister, right?
he made sure my mom got it.
He said Von's sister, right?
Did
Hold
you
up,
talk
wait.
to Mr.
Let me go back.
at the time? OTF Jam. Yes, while smiling.
Hold up.
Prosecutors.
Wait.
Can you name them? Hester, Durk, Dee Dee, and Lizzie. It was also alleged that OTF Jam discussed how he knew King Von when he was younger because of his sister. Prosecutors asked, were you trying to talk to a sister at the time? OTF Jam. Yes, while smiling.
Why smiling?
Did Lord Durk keep
That what
up with you
snakes
while
do.
you was in prison? OTF Jam. I ain't gonna lie. When Lord Durk changed his number, he made sure my mom got it. Prosecutor, did you talk to Mr. Banks after you got out of prison? OTF Jam. Yeah, I told Durk I just got out of prison and I don't got no clothes. He told me, yes you do. You got us. The song Back Again played in court and prosecutors honed in on the lyrics. Jam get out that jam, I gave him 50 and got X again. He was catching murders way back then when the Max was in. OTF Jam quoted, I heard them playing the song in prison and saying my name. But then how can we take this man serious, fam? He randomly put Chief Keef in it. OTF Jam, Durk, Keef, Rondo number 9. Prosecutors. You name my other gang members? OTF Jam? Yes. Keef free.
Damn.
Rondo already doing 100 years. Why bring them up?
Hey, leave those folks out of that, Jam. You just went to singing like damn Whitney Houston, didn't it? Dang, long live Whitney. God dang,
It was
bro.
alleged when OTF Jam started bringing down his experience with the Black Disciples and his experience with Lord Durk, he started shaking his head often while he was on the stand. Prosecutors, do you have any gang tattoos? OTF Jam, yes. Prosecutors, what gang tattoos do you have? Jam, BDN, Lamb 300, OTF 300. The first 30 minutes of OTF Jam's testimony focused on being a Black disciple, saying the rules of BD, sacrifice life for the nation cause, abide by the leaders' orders.
Nigga telling all the business. Dang.
Being in salute. Prosecutors asked, were you involved with robberies? Jam, armed robberies with the gun. Prosecutors, around how many times? Jam, probably 100 plus. Prosecutors, who were you robbing? OTF Jam, drug dealers. Prosecutors in 2010, did you participate in a robbery? OTF Jam, I was told to kill him because he was a witness. Pulled a gun to his head and pulled the trigger. He spoke on how that situation landed him 12 years in prison. The YouTube thumbnail for the music video for the Blockers hat was shown in court. Prosecutors, what are they doing in this image? OTF Jam, dropping the Y.
Before Jam's testimony, you can 100% say Durk actually gonna walk out of there. 100%. But everybody that's gonna come out and say something, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna say it's bad because obviously he's testifying. So you want the recross. You want after Brian Steele and everybody do their thing so that they can basically destroy whatever the hell he said. But right now, I ain't gonna lie, Damon there looking like a fucking monster, nigga, flat out. Dash nigga, but a nigga monster. That shit, man, that shit hurt my heart saying that shit. Cause nigga, you was poor as they put money on you, nigga, all of this. You supposed to take a bullet. You ain't supposed to take the stand, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? But then it makes sense how dirty he was because y'all came from Chicago with the same shoes, same drawers, same socks, completed the blitz. Then the next day y'all left. So you done wore the same clothes for 3 days, ain't sold no drugs. Just came out here to shoot it dirty. But yeah, man, everybody gonna say it's all badish, 100%. Everybody gonna come out and say because of what he said, because I think the feds, I can't prove it, the feds already.
It's a lot to take in on day 3, fam. OTF Jam is expected to get back on the stand, be cross-examined the next day on day 4. But you got him throwing Rondo number 9, Chief Keef, who ain't got nothing to do with this case, just to confirm on paper to the feds, they gang members for any future crimes, which is crazy. Then you got the possibility of co-conspirator for being either nonetheless a person that was once signed to his label, whether it was Duty Low allegedly or Slime Life Shorty. Then it gets to the point where it seemed Durk had knew all this was taking place before it went down. His distance from Slime Life Shorty, his distance from OTF Jam, trying to keep his enemies close. Can't say, as of now, his defense is losing, but I leave that to you guys. It's more developed.
Do y'all think Lil Durk gonna walk out of court, gang? Do y'all think he walking out of this thing, man? Y'all let me know. Do y'all think Lil Durk walking out of this thing, gang? We got one more Lil Durk video. Then we're gonna get into this Nolan Wells and Carmelo Anthony situation. Hold on, gang. We got one more Lil Durk video. Let's see his hand.
What? And he allegedly dropped Quando Low. Who gotta be lame and like who is dip on somebody? The feds showed text messages to prove it. It's your boy Music 101, the street reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Just 2 days ago, while Duty Low was outside protesting for Lil Durk freedom, he asked, "Did they say my name in the courtroom yet?" The guy laughed and said no. See, the dude didn't know Duty Low was co-conspirator foe, but Duty Low knew. It ain't no point in getting no lawyer if your homie told. You on the lead back to the fast.
Yeah, it's about to wrap up. They say about 4:30. They say 4:30 for sure. I mean, they ain't saying, you can never know for sure, but the dude, they say that's when they normally in court, 4:30. So they can't keep the people all day.
I'm saying, so what they doing when you went in there?
They doing going over screenshots, time lapse, time stamp. They has, I guess, a detective on the stand. No, they ain't saying that. They say,
That nigga wanted to say his name. They said my name yet.
You can tell they wrapping up.
I got the call last night that Duty Low was indeed co-conspirator foe, but I was told not to say nothing. It looked like the cat out the bag, so we're gonna break it down. Earlier today, the feds showed text messages between YSL Slime Life Shawty and Duty Low on November 6, 2020, the day King Von died. Slime Life Shawty texted Duty Low and said, "Keep your head up, Slime. I know the pain. I'm with you for life. Drilling about this it." Duty Low responded and said, "I love you, Slime." Slime Life Shawty responded and said, "I love you back. Slap, it's up about this it." A day later, Slime Life Shawty texts Duty Low and said, "Where you at, Slime?" Duty Low responded and said, "Crib, call me." Slime Life Shawty sent Quando Rondo phone number. 2 days later, Duty Low text Slime Life Shawty and said, "Gang." Slime Life Shawty responded and said, "I know a wiggle who from Savannah who got drops. It's him. On his number?" Duty Low responded and said, "Yeah." Slime Life Shawty sent the number. So this text message thread is showing that Slime Life Shawty sent Duty Low Quando Rondo phone number and someone from Savannah, Georgia that allegedly had locations on Quando Rondo. Once the text messages was revealed today, Remo made a video saying that Duty Low was co-conspirator number 4.
All right, it's actually about to come out in the courtroom within today or the next couple of days, but there's been some text messages that's been leaked out in the courtroom, and pretty much a day after Von died, Durk texts Duty Low and Quando's number and the number of someone in Savannah who might be able to get his location. That was actually said in court. It's actually going to come out to find out that, well, you guys are actually going to find out that Duty Low is actually co-conspirator number 4, and it was actually not Brick Baby. So everybody who's been saying Brick Baby is a snitch, yeah, you can tell that it's not Brick Baby. Duty Low is actually allegedly the person who dropped the location, and he's going to be named as co-conspirator 4. If you guys already ain't read between the lines already. But just because his name is co-conspirator 4 doesn't mean that he is snitching. I don't believe Duty Low is snitching because, I mean, at the end of the day, you just seen him out there with...
So they trying to say Duty Low the one dropped the location game.
But Duty Low...
So is they trying to say Duty Low dropped the location that day?
As it says, he's the person who allegedly dropped the location. Who else? I mean, around OTF could drop the location. If you guys go back and do your research, you can kind of see everything lines up.
Do y'all agree, gang?
Now let's break this
down. Do y'all agree,
because
gang?
I know a lot of people are wondering, well, if Duty Low is co-conspirator number 4, why he wasn't indicted? Why he not arrested? Is he snitching? Co-conspirator number 4 was an unindicted conspirator. And this is some reasons why co-conspirators may not be indicted. The first reason, the prosecutors may want him to cooperate. Prosecutors sometimes leave a person uncharged because they want information or a testimony against a higher priority defendant. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. I do not think Duty Low is cooperating. He outside that courtroom protesting for Durk freedom. He outside that courtroom trying to steal hugs from India. He outside
that was kind of weird as hell.
with Lil Durk daddy.
That's what I said. That was saying. That was kind of weird too. Why the hell you trying to hug that man, old lady like that too, gang? With that bald ass. What this nigga head look like? God damn, bro. Niggas like you.
Prayers for Durk. I don't think that Duty Low is snitching and out there protesting for Durk freedom. That's just one reason why a co-conspirator can be uncharged. The next reason, the evidence against him may have not been sufficient for a charge. The government's allegations that someone provided information doesn't necessarily establish every element of a federal murder for hire conspiracy offense beyond what prosecutors believe they can prove. So basically, they may see this text message thread where Slime Life Shawty sent Duty Low Quando Rondo phone number and somebody else phone number
Eminem head
from
ass
Georgia
nigga.
that claim they have locations on Quando Rondo. We see it, but technically it's not enough evidence to prove that Duty Low actually was the one that dropped the low. So they saying it, but they don't have hardcore proof that they feel will hold up in trial to say, yeah, Duty Low 100% without a doubt was the one that dropped the low. The third reason Duty Low role is peanuts compared to the other co-defendants in Durk. They want the shooters. They want the one who paid the shooters to do the crime. The person that dropped the low, they ain't tripping. That could be the third reason. And the fourth reason, it could have been an agreement not to prosecute him. If prosecutors obtain useful information from an uncharged participant, they can effectively give that person consideration for cooperation. That doesn't mean there's a public immunity agreement. It can be that Duty Low gave information in return for immunity. But if he did that, that would be documented. So I'm going to go with that the allegations someone provided information doesn't necessarily establish every element of a federal murder for hire or conspiracy offense beyond what prosecutors believe they can prove. Now, y'all remember when the indictment first came out about co-conspirator number 4, everybody thought it was Brick Baby.
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
indictment said on August 18th, 2022, the day before the shooting, OTF members allegedly learned Quando Rondo location from co-conspirator 4, described as a long-time OTF affiliate. After receiving the location, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, DeAndre Wilson, Asa Houston, and co-conspirator 2 flew from Chicago to San Diego. The indictment says co-conspirator 4 was involved in a broader conspiracy, but was not one of the 5 people initially charged. And Brick Baby responded when the news first came out and everybody thought he was co-conspirator 4.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't do but at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I dig his up in.
Right.
YouTube
What?
Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app.
That's why everybody was thinking that Brick Baby dropped that logo gang. The first time.
Every time I up outside, we trying to line them up. We dropped 100 on yo, God, go scrape your partner.
Oh yeah, Slot for Vaughn, right? Yeah.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FVG Cash? Oh.
Nah, because Lil Pop.
Oh. What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more. That's the new term on like no more Slide for Vaughn.
Because of Lil Pop. Now, after that incident.
We charge a quarter for.
See, remember they was saying that back then, gang. When they say you can't say slide for fun no
When the
more,
news
cause you
broke,
slid.
Slime Life Shorty made a post and said fake news. The same thing he said when it came out that he was gonna testify in the YSL trial. And look what happened. Fool was right there on that stand, sworn in.
And outside of the music is YSL a gang.
He said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah. Good relationship.
And do you see Shannon, Diamante, Jeffrey, and Rodalius in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Do you see Diamante, just describe him by the article clothing he's wearing?
Like a trench coat.
Is he sitting next to
yellow, tan. I don't know what color that is, but a trench coat next to the lady.
John, let the record reflect.
Duty Low responded when this news hit the internet, and he showed a selfie of him getting a haircut. I guess Duty is unfathered.
A haircut? What hair they were cutting?
He out there vouching for his homie. Duty,
man, ain't no way that man was getting no damn
you might
haircut.
escape this one, but don't think the Fed's gonna let you off the hook that easy. Y'all get in the comments, man, and tell me what you think about this
what hair they
whole
was fucking
situation.
cutting,
And
gang?
if you enjoying the content,
Make
sure
this nigga
you
getting
like,
a shine
comment,
at the
and
fucking
subscribe.
barbershop.
All post notifications is free.
This is crazy. That's crazy, gang. Yeah, but will Lil Durk walk? I don't know, gang. We're gonna keep watching day by day with that Durk trial, though. I mean, every case, don't we know that everybody always talking? It ain't nothing new. Oh, such and such talking, though. Such and such talking, man. That ain't nothing new, gang. The streets been dead, gang. So y'all better stop trusting in the streets. That's on y'all. Keep trusting in the damn streets. Keep trusting in the streets and keep being in them. That's on y'all. Do your thing, Chicken Wayne. Hey, but let's get into this Nolan's Well bombshell, they say. This is what they say. This is a Nolan Well bombshell. Nancy Grace said she went with Nolan's mom. Alright, and this is what she saw. Let's go, gang. Get the lights up.
Bombshell. A witness tells us tonight, I went with Nolan's mother to the coroner's office, and this is what I saw.
Let's go, gang.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to
Get the
thank
lights
you
up,
for
gang.
being with us. Nolan is dead.
Could it be a decompositional change? Could it be something else like blunt force injury? It's hard to say at this point in time.
I find it very difficult to believe, Dr. Kendall Krause, that not one, but two medical examiners cannot figure out why he had deep red subcutaneous markings. Joining us tonight, an all-star panel, but first straight to a special guest, Josh Gill with the Cajun Navy, who, as you know, searched for Nolan's body. Josh, thank you for being with us. The
Morning, man.
day unfolded when Nolan's body was found very bizarrely. You were there. I'm going to get to your trip to the coroner's office along with the family, but I want you to start at the beginning. What happened at the beginning of that day? We believe that Nolan likely died on July the 4th. Let's start with the day that Nolan's body was found and that you ended up at the coroner's office. Start at the beginning.
So early that morning, I deployed some resources. I deployed an aircraft, fixed-wing aircraft that wheels up at 0635, as you can see right there from the photographs. I was on my way to the Lake Morris boat launch. That's where the Tactical Operations Center was set up. And I received a phone call. Received that phone call from the Sheriff's Department that a body had been found. Didn't say who it was. I was probably 15 minutes out from the location. I then received a phone call within minutes after the conversation from the sheriff's office from Nolan's mother, Christine. And she was frantic. You know, again, that mother's intuition, she knew what was going on. So I'm meeting at the boat launch. I was there about 15 minutes ahead of time. Had
Hold on just one moment. Hold on. For those of you just joining us, yep. Josh Gill is with us. He is the United Cajun Navy Incident Commander in the search for Nolan Wells, you stated that you received a phone call from Nolan's mother, Christine. You said she was frantic. What was she saying?
So again, I'm going to paraphrase. She said that they had found him, that they had found a body. My biggest concern at that exact moment was to make sure that she was safe. That she had,
somebody say he lying.
Because it was the beginning of what's more than likely to be the worst day
Shout
of her
out to
life.
Esther.
Again, so continuing
Hold on. Josh, you got me drinking from the fire hydrant here. Every word you're saying sparks 100 questions. So,
Sure.
Nolan Wells' mother calls you. Okay, where was she when she called?
Dang,
She
so
was
y'all
en route
think he
to the boat
lying?
launch as well. We were meeting there
Okay.
For the search.
Okay, had she been told that a body had been found?
Yeah, when she called me, so we had earlier communication, but via text, when she called me, she told me that a body had been found. She had been
What's up,
notified by the
Cynthia?
sheriff's department.
Salute to everybody in here. Salute to everybody in that bit, gang. No cap.
And one tool.
So y'all say y'all ain't rocking with him. Well, a couple of y'all live.
Gosh. No wonder she was frantic.
Say 24 people
So
on
she
3 boats.
calls you. She's just been
We
told by the
blaming
sheriff
today.
a body has been found. She calls you. You're going to the boat launch. What boat launch? Where?
That's the Lake Mars boat launch.
Why there?
So that's where the operation was set up. That's where the search operations, the tactical operations center was there. They had a mobile command unit, and the multiple entities and agencies were basing their operations out of there. So what it is a boat launch. Again, they could launch rather quickly. It's a protected area to launch and then make that run to Horn Island and the surrounding areas.
Okay, so you agreed with her. Did she ask you to meet at the boat launch?
Oh, she knew I was going to that boat launch, and she actually asked me early that morning, where we were going to meet. I told her, here's the best place. Here's where the operation is beginning.
Okay.
It was a secured location by the sheriff's department, so that's where they were running their operation on it. And that's a common practice.
Question: do you know why Nolan's mother wanted you to go with her to Horn Island?
Okay, we got somebody in the chat.
She called me.
Somebody in the chat say you're in the air, didn't see anyone. You're 15 minutes away. Don't make sense. So y'all ain't rocking with what he talking about right now. Get the lights up, gang.
We had a voice conversation that Sunday morning.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out, gang.
She had called and asked for some assistance. After that phone call, I asked to memorialize all of our conversations so I could go back and look at information. And that's not uncommon for families to call us.
What kind of assistance did she need?
Find my son. There it is.
So she asked you to help find her son. That assistance. Okay, got it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, so she asked for that assistance, find my son, find Nolan. Started gathering information on who he is, who he was with, where he was. She made it very clear that he was with some friends, that they had been on Horn Island. So then I start launching resources immediately. And then after I launched resources,
Hold on. Josh, what specifically did she say about him going to Horn Island with friends, if you can recall?
So she said that he went to Horn Island with friends. It's July 4th, and Horn Island's a location that's well known and well visited by people partying and hanging out for July 4th. It's a huge boating community, and that was the location where folks congregate and enjoy the 4th.
Somebody say they all lying.
So she says he went to Horn Island on the 4th with friends. Got it. Okay. So you meet at the boat ramp, and when you first saw her, what was her demeanor?
If we just saw, look, y'all.
So she came to me. She gets out of the vehicle. Comes
Did y'all
to
see
me,
how many
gives me a
people
big hug.
was on that boat this day, though?
Again, it's a mother who, her intuition.
Did y'all see that?
Her body was just found. So
do y'all think do y'all think he was unalived at night or the daytime? Or y'all just thought, or some people think he just drowned? Y'all let me know, gang. Did it have whatever happened to her? Did it happen at night or in the daytime? That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever happened to him, gang. Let's go.
So, obviously saying.
According to what we learned, the moment she gets out of the vehicle, she runs straight to you and is hyperventilating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She came straight to
What
me.
happened?
I mean, 20 people. She gives me a big hug and starts crying. And look, I'm a softie. I started crying with her. And we literally sat in the parking lot on the ground in the gravel for probably 15 minutes.
Salute, gang.
And we
Gang
had some
in that bit.
pretty deep discussions. She cried. I cried with her. And her husband was there as well. And I want to say this, that he's a very stoic individual, and he stood there.
Yeah, we just
with
got
his
done
hands
talking
on
about
both
it,
of our
gang. Yeah, that was
shoulders,
crazy.
and was a part of everything. It was one of those moments you don't forget.
What was she saying? What was she saying? I mean, in a moment like that, how do you console a mother, Josh, that has been told by this disembodied voice on the phone, we found a body? I mean, what was she saying? Did she not want to believe it was Nolan? Did she believe it was Nolan? At this point, she had not ID'd a body yet. Nobody had identified that this was Nolan. Was she holding out hope? What was going on?
She knew. Again, mother's intuition.
Yeah, that's what I wait on some more
strong.
information tomorrow.
In her heart, she knew. As far as what she was saying, why is always the question, you know? She asked God, why? And the rest of the conversations were just, you know, memories real quick. And I'm assuming everything was just flashing in front of her eyes because, again, it's the beginning of the hardest time of her life. Losing her son. I was there just to console her and to help anyone I possibly could.
What was the dad saying, if anything?
You know, he was, he was really quiet. He was a quiet gentleman, but his physical presence afforded hers, it made her feel safe. And I will say that, you know, he stood there with us, you know, on the ground. He's there. And his presence said a lot. And it meant a lot to his wife, to Miss Christine. And again, it's a tough time for him as well.
So she's crying. You state that she knows deep inside that that body is her boy, her son. You start crying. Did you remain standing in the parking lot or did you sit down?
No, ma'am. Like I said, when she first came to me, she gave me a big hug, and I wrapped my arms around her, and we sat down. We sat very quickly. We remained seating for quite some time to have that discussion, say a prayer. I did pray with her right there. Yes, ma'am. On the ground, in the gravel.
Y'all were sitting
right
on the...
Oh, she get mad now. She get mad.
And you said she was hyperventilating. You sit on the ground. I believe I heard you say that you started praying.
Always. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Was she praying that it wasn't Nolan?
Y'all smashed that like button, gang.
So, you know, and again,
You see gang on y'all ass about the like button now.
It was more of a prayer for peace and comfort is what I did. You know, and I always ask for that, and then for answers, you know, and I prayed Godspeed if it is Nolan, and, you know, for the Lord to put his protecting hands over us and everything that we do, and to be with this family and this mother, especially during these hard times. You know, it's an emotional time.
I cannot even imagine. I'm trying to get my head around the picture of you and Miss Christine sitting on the ground in a parking lot with her crying after just been told we found a body, and she knows it's Nolan.
Oh, sure.
I thank God that you were there. I thank God that you and Nolan's dad were there to help her. I don't know how she even stood up. How did you get her to stand up?
So it was about 15 minutes we were there on the ground, and you know, a
So
couple
what
times
she-
the sheriff.
So what
came
he
up
saying?
and
So what he saying? She fainted.
he saw what was going on, and the sheriff's staff, and they understood that it was one of those moments where we need some space.
Maintenance fee.
Did she faint
overdraft
or
fee,
what, gang?
Balance fee, maximum balance fee. Banking fees are just a part of modern.
She finally, and I hate to say she called her composure, but it was an emotional time for me as well as the father, and it's, we stood up and the sheriff came over and, he started discussing what the process would be. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I don't know how she even stood up. Okay, so you help her up off the ground. Yeah. Okay, then what happens?
So a family and friends started to arrive, and the security let them in, and the sheriff came up, and the sheriff again, he had to help deliver that news, that a body was found and do his formal, and I hate to say notification because at this point he didn't say if it was Nolan or not, but he explained that a body was found and where they would be bringing that body to. And from there, the family gathered, and it was, I'd say, a matter of 15, 20 minutes maybe. We were then escorted. Christine asked me to accompany them to the coroner's office, which I was extremely honored to do so. And then the sheriff's department escorted us to that coroner's office.
Can I ask you something, Josh? When the sheriff came over, was it the sheriff or a deputy sheriff?
It was the sheriff.
The sheriff.
He
comes over and
salute everybody in that bit. Y'all drop down with some of y'all from, gang.
A body has been found.
If you're new to the channel,
Had the body already been taken
hit that
to the
sub button
coroner's
too.
office?
It was en route. So he was en route to the coroner's office, and he told us, he told Christine, here's what's going on. Here's where you need to go for further information.
Shout out
and
Ohio.
Again, extremely professional, extremely polite, and the biggest word I can use was he was compassionate. His staff was extremely compassionate. I can't take that away from him.
Was she at that moment? Was she just numb? Did she ask questions, or did she just stand there and take it? What was her response to the sheriff coming over face to face telling her we found a body? Because, a lot of times, this from all of the bodies that you have helped recover. Guys, joining me is Josh Gill. He's our special guest tonight with the United Cajun Navy. He's the incident commander, and he was in on the search for Nolan from the beginning, and he went to the coroner's office along with the family, along with the mother and the father.
What's up, y'all?
So when the sheriff was, I guess, formally delivering this to her, a lot of people, when they hear it on the phone, they don't want to believe it. I didn't. When it happened to me, I thought, did I get that wrong? So he comes up and tells her to her face, and there's no way to mistake what he's saying. He's right there in front of her. How did Miss Christine respond?
Just as any parent would respond. Tears, shock, disbelief, I think are some good words. But again, I don't want to take away from the compassion and the professionalism of the sheriff's department at that point. And there were more people coming up, right? And at that point, the sheriff had conversation with the mother again, and the family.
Hold on, they gang said
the process on what was going to happen next as far as where Nolan was going, and then moving from there. But I do want to add that, during these conversations, I reiterated to the mother and, Mr. Elmore, that Nolan will be treated with the utmost dignity and respect through the process. I wanted to explain that because that's something that parents always need to hear.
Hold on, wait.
Members that their love.
Somebody said, that guy said he probably could help. All y'all ain't trusting the Joker right now, man.
One will be treated with.
I ain't gonna say all y'all, some y'all.
So you guys make it to the coroner's office. What happens when you get to the coroner's office and Nolan's body?
Fuck it, we're gonna put put a poll in the chat right quick. Put a 1 in the chat if you rocking with old boy what he's saying. Put a 2 if you ain't. Let's go, gang.
Correct. So we go to the coroner's office. We sit down. The coroner, he comes in, rather quickly, 10, 15 seconds once the table was filled with all the people, family members, friends, myself.
What table? Were you in a conference room?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh gosh, you know, at the medical examiners or the coroners, everything is so sterile, and everyone I've ever been to.
So this was like an office conference room. You walked right in the door, and there it was. Didn't really have that feeling of a coroner's office, if that's fair to say. More like a business office conference room. He walks in, very polite gentleman, very professional, well-spoken, soft-spoken as well. And, you know, basically said that, you know, they found a body, and from initial appearance, he identified him as Nolan. He did want to take a DNA swab or get a DNA sample from the family just for, you know, further confirmation and for, I guess, record keeping, whatever it was. But then he also, you know, she asked about the condition, and he went into, there were no immediate signs of foul play. Okay. To me, again, my opinion in hearing this is, you know, no signs of blunt force trauma, or any, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, any, signs of foul play, but we would consider that.
Well, I guess they hadn't seen that big red mark on the back of his occipital yet, underneath the skin. And I take it at this juncture, Josh, his throat had not been dissected to look for potential subcutaneous bruising. So
sure.
You're telling me that from a cursory look at Nolan Wells's body, there was no sign of foul play, such as a stab wound or a bullet wound or bruises, deep gouges on the head.
Oh, man.
That, in my experience, having tried so many homicide cases, I cannot count them, is what you get from a cursory look at a body. Would you agree?
So, correct. I'm not a medical examiner nor a coroner. I have gathered information and heard multiple people speak on that, especially about the...
Y'all get the lights up, gang.
Spot, right? We'll quote-unquote call it the red spot. And as I appreciate that may be pooling or whatever, it could possibly be cellular decomposition. Again, I'm not a medical examiner or a coroner, but I do know what the coroner said at that immediate, that first meeting with him.
Let's get back to what happened in that conference room. So you're there, the mom's there, the dad's there, the coroner comes in, very calm, very soft-spoken, and tells...
Hey, appreciate that, gang. What I'm talking. Yeah.
That he
Oh, yeah. Any NASA slander, you will be getting put in time out. I forgot about that. Any NASA slander, you will get put in time out. We don't play about NASA over here. Let's go. Go ahead, babe. My fault.
Appearance and description. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What was her reaction? Because if it were me,
again,
I would have been holding out. It's not him. It's not him. It's somebody that looks like him. I don't believe it's him. He's out there. If I can just get out of here and go find him. What was her reaction?
Again, it was quiet, and it was a very emotional time for the family as well. I personally believe at that point she accepted that it was him.
Why do you say that? You must have observed something that makes you say that.
Again, it just actions, you know, and not denial, not beating on the table. It's not him. Let's go. Let's keep looking. And her being in the medical profession as well as I believe a nurse practitioner. I think I will never say the word accept. She understood that what was being told to her. Right? Yeah. Again, I'm not a parent.
Still crying?
I don't have any. Absolutely. She still cries to this day. You know, and look, so I want to make this very clear to everybody that I support Christine in what she's doing. There's not a playbook that's written for a grieving mother who doesn't know what happened to her son. And I truly hope and pray every day, as well as my organization does, that she finds peace and comfort, and she's able to accept.
And you know what else, Josh?
Whatever the results are.
I don't know
yes.
how this would have unfolded if it had not been for the United Cajun Navy. I'm just putting that out there. For some reason, y'all have been gotten so much hate, but you guys were out there at the get-go. You're the one that went with Miss Christine to the coroner's office. You were there. You're the one that helped her stand up off the ground when she was sitting on that pavement crying.
All right, okay.
That was you.
Calm down,
United
babe.
Cajun Navy.
Yes, ma'am.
Calm down, babe.
I support her too, and my fondest dream is that we find out that this was an accident. But until we get to that point, this investigation must go on. So
y'all heard her. She said it must go on.
Then what happens?
She said it must go on.
So there were some questions, right? He asked the family if there was anything they needed to know, and I asked a question. And the question I asked was, "Can you please explain the process where Nolan's going to go? What's going to happen from there?"
Get now then time out.
And he did. He explained that he would be going to the crime lab, I believe it was, on what was going on for further autopsy. Again, and I'm paraphrasing this, and we all understood it. We understood that what was going to happen, where it was going, and what would happen from there. Again, and I have to say this and reiterate this, that the family,
don't worry about it. I got a gang.
Was in shock. I mean, it's horrible news to receive. I can't imagine it. I'm an empath, and I still can't possibly imagine how it feels to receive that information, that your son is no longer, here with the family, no matter what the outcome is. Here's the issue, though, is that we have to be prepared to accept and understand what's told to us as far as results of, the grand jury or whatever it is. I want to make sure that people understand the prayers for peace and comfort are there daily for this family, as well as the nation, because this is a hard time for the nation and Ocean Springs in particular.
What happened then? You asked about the procedure. Let me make sure I understand.
Oh, I got y'all favorite coming up after this.
Identify Nolan based on description. Because I've seen a photo, which we have not shown, of Nolan's body where it washed up. Well, I say washed up. That's really a term of art. I don't know that he washed up. I don't know how his body got right there, because it seems to me it was half in the sand and half in the water, right? So I don't know how it got there. That said, he made this ID based on the description given to him of Nolan, but
black on black crime.
Actual ID made from dental records.
So I don't know. I don't know what the actual ID was made from, if it was from dental records or if it was a DNA swab. He did discuss collecting DNA with the mother before we left. I did not witness that.
When the DNA was collected?
Y'all filed that trash ass rigid.
How they got it. But it was a discussion. But again, the coroner was confident. His confidence level was
And can we get to 100 likes, if y'all don't mind, please?
And I think that's what Miss Christine wanted to do, or wanted to understand. And the reason being, I think that there's that professional courtesy of, understanding he's the coroner. She is a nurse practitioner, and he wouldn't tell her those things if it was not in his heart.
Attention homeowners, Nancy Grace here. Scammers.
All right. That's enough. No, I told you no promo now. That's enough. Come on, let's go.
Crime Stories investigative reporter, very quickly. Wasn't Nolan identified through dental records? I said yes, no, please.
Yes, ma'am. He was identified with dental records.
To Jeff Gentry joining us. Jeff, thank you for waiting so patiently. Forensic certified bloodstain pattern analyst, crime scene analyst, death investigator, author of Forensic Science. Jeff, why did they have to use dental records to identify Nolan Wells's body?
Nancy, usually dental records are used when other forms of identification cannot be utilized. So the first thing that we always try to do is to visually identify somebody. And if you have family there or friends or an ID, something to reference to visually identify the person, then that is the first step. So just getting a general idea of who they are. Then you want to move to a scientific form of identification. And that is something based on a scientific discipline. So there is proof that it is the person when it goes to court or additional questions are asked later. Your first form of scientific identification is fingerprints. That's always going to be the easiest and fastest. And if he had an ID or driver's license, then there should be a fingerprint on file to be able to identify this person rather quickly. However, in this case, if he had been deceased for a day or two before he was found, then forms of scientific identification like fingerprints or even like a visual identification may not necessarily be available. So in those scenarios, then you move to alternate forms of identification like dental records. So that you would have to get the person's dental records from when they were alive to compare them against dental records taken when they're deceased at the autopsy. The last form of identification that's used, which is the most expensive and most time consuming, would be DNA. However, if you're going to take this case to court and it's going to be tried like a homicide, then you would probably want to use a form of identification like DNA because it's much more solid. You can verify with percentages how likely it is that the person is who you believe they are.
Wait. Somebody said, can anyone count how many drunk drownings happens every holiday? So who agree with what Two World just said? He said, man, y'all are tripping. Y'all know how many people be drunk and just end up drowning? Do y'all understand that? That's what he's saying. He said, y'all tripping. Get the lights up, gang.
That's why dental records were most likely used in this case versus something simple and fast like fingerprints or visual identification.
Judge Gentry can be found at evidenceoverassumption.com. Jeff, my takeaway from what you just said is they could not make a visual identification and they could not use fingerprints. You said those were the first two choices, then dental, then DNA. Why would they not be able to make a visual ID?
I'm assuming because he was outside and in the elements for a day or so. It's hot, it's July, it's very warm weather. However, in most cases where I have seen drownings where the person is underwater for a period of time, their body is pretty well preserved, unless we're talking about like...
Oh, somebody said that ain't coming on Horn Island.
This person is underwater. Usually the water is cooler temperature, and if that person is face down in the water or completely submerged, their body is pretty well preserved until they surface. Usually a body after a couple of days surfaces. So I'm really surprised that he was on the shore. I've never personally investigated a drowning case where a person just ends up on the shore, especially if there's not a strong current or waves. Usually in bodies of water, the person will stay in pretty much the location where they go underwater if it's witnessed. They don't usually move around much after they have submerged or gone underwater. So to me, it's very concerning that he was on the shore or that his body surfaced that quickly. But that's what I am guessing is why they couldn't do an immediate visual identification with the family or even fingerprints. So I would really like to know more about the condition of the body. That's what I am assessing as a death investigator. When
No.
So
hey, Wealthy.
Be a death investigation report.
Wealthy. We don't tap into that type of atmosphere. You said ancestors, please show up. We don't tap into that type of atmosphere. I ain't got nothing against people that, you know what I'm saying, but we don't tap into that type of stuff. I'm just being honest. I ain't dissing nobody's ancestors and that, but I'm just being honest. We don't tap into that world. Let's go though.
From a death investigator who has experience looking at bodies and has experience examining these type of things to show exactly what his condition was when he was found. And if the body is decomposed more than what you would normally expect in a drowning case, that should be a big red flag. That's something that you definitely need to look into further.
Nah, you good, gang.
So you're saying, let me follow up on what you just said. You find it odd that he was quasi on the shore.
I appreciate that gift, gentlemen.
You also stated that location where the body is found is typically where they went under. You also said that the body must have been too decomposed to make a facial ID. I did not hear an explanation as to why fingerprint ID was impossible.
You know what that ancestor stuff
fingerprint
is.
Identification would be impossible.
Salute, gang. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Were dried out to an extent where they can't be fingerprinted. Sometimes people that are underwater, or if the hands are underwater, the skin, just like if you're in the bathtub for a prolonged period of time, the skin ends up looking the same way It just gets kind of wrinkled, and it's very hard to get a usable or workable fingerprint in those scenarios. So one scenario would be the body is too decomposed to get a fingerprint or a visual identification. And then the alternate scenario is the body or the hands were exposed to the water too long to where they just are not able to get a good workable print. So those are the different possibilities. But again, his position at the edge of the bank or partially in the water, that's really concerning because there's tons of people around that area. If he was in
appreciate that gift,
position or on the shore decomposing for a day or so, why did nobody see him? Those would be my type of questions that I would ask if I were a death investigator responding to this scene.
Jeff, I'm looking right now at the photo of his body, and
we don't know. Rose said that he really passed on the 4th, decomposed too quickly. We don't know. That's still a mystery. Rose, no cap. Shout out to everybody in here, man.
The beach is flat, and I would say it's about 3 to 4 feet from where there's nothing but sand, no water. It looks like it's just as the water is starting, like you could walk in it very easily, and your ankles may not even get wet. He's not out in the water at all. He's on the beach and on wet sand. That's the way to put it. It's wet sand. He's not out in the water, Jeff Gentry. What does that mean, if anything?
That's really abnormal. I would have a ton of questions in that case. I would wonder if there's no waves, no strong current, why is that body up on a shore? How did it get there? And just like when we were looking at blood evidence,
we had 67 likes, gang. Let's get to 100.
Something is in a
everybody double tap that screen and hit that sub button for me.
How it got there. I have investigated a lot of deaths, bodies in canals, rivers, lakes, large bodies of water, never really near the ocean to where you would expect somebody to wash up to shore. But in these cases, even though there's strong current, waves, large bodies of water, I've never really seen bodies up on a shore, especially up out of the water enough to where they could decompose significantly to where they can't be identified or can't be fingerprinted. So that would be a very big question that I would have in this case is with the absence of waves, with the absence of a strong current, how in the world did this 19-year-old man end up on shore out of the water?
Josh, I'm going to pick back up with you and Nolan's family at the coroner's office, but you disagree with Jeff's characteristic. Explain.
Wind, wave, tides, currents. If you look, there's also there's some pictures, some aerial pictures that show driftwood way on the beach. Those 4 things are what impacted, as I appreciate, where Nolan ultimately ended up. If you look in one of those pictures, man, a wave is about to come right over and crest right near where the body's at. So that shows that there is some wave actions and some currents. The winds, the waves, the tides, the currents have a huge impact on, anything that's put into that water. It's known as the washing machine. It's a high tide, high current area. So that was the first things that I looked at whenever I saw that picture, and that is one of those pictures that I showed to the sheriff immediately as I received it.
I'm talking about real talk, gang.
Right there, I believe that's debris, and that debris could have easily or was washed up on that island. And if you look at the picture as well into the water, the white is that's wave action, either from wind, tides, or currents. So, and it's going towards the beach. When you walk down the beach and you find shells and you find, the bottle with a message in it, it gets washed up on the beach.
Okay, so
he
I think in simple terms,
this nigga here
you're
done
saying you believe the body was
my
washed
game done
up
turned the dean over there,
from
bitch.
the water to that location.
This nigga done turned the dean.
Gentry said typically
Respect,
a body
Kai.
is found where it goes in the water. So you're right. Tidal experts, water experts will have to determine that.
Oh, he put everyday cut.
I
Oh,
wanna
everyday
get
cut.
back
Okay.
to you at the coroner's office. A dental exam
So you
was
were dean
used
for
to make the ID, which leads me to another question. If his face and his fingertips were so decomposed that they
drop the
can't
damn
make
phone,
an ID, then how do they know there was not bruising or there was not skin marks on his
How did they
face,
know? How
on
did they
his
know?
hands?
For
That's
real
a whole
though.
other thing. You're not a medical examiner. I get it. But that's a question that needs to be answered back to you. They, the family, Miss Christine, the dad, were asked to provide DNA. Okay. You did not see the DNA taken, probably a buccal swab. What happened then?
So if I may add one thing, is I think that'd be a great question to ask the coroner is, how did he identify? Because he was pretty sure, in his best professional opinion, that was Nolan. And maybe he wanted the dental records just out of professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, isn't that one of the most definite ways to identify? Sure, and out of courtesy to the family, let's do it the easy way for you as well as to get the dental records. So moving forward, man, we left. We went to the house. There was a gathering at the house, and the people started to pour in, and it was a very emotional time. Again, the family, the friends and family that were there they were extremely welcoming to myself. Todd Terrell also came he came within, 30 minutes. We stayed there for about 30 minutes. We had conversation with the mother, Mr. Elmore, and some of the other family members, and discussed a couple things with them. GoFundMe being one of them, and we wanted to assist with that as far as the development and helping to spread the word on that piece, as well as offer our services. And anything that we could possibly do to assist this family in this time of grief, we're there for them. Still there today. Anything that they possibly need, we're here to provide. If it's a shoulder to cry on, we're there. If she wants to get in an airplane or if she wants to get in a boat and go back out to Horn Island, we're there. We got it.
She don't want to damn go back out there. Why would she want to go back out there, though?
We just want her to know in the family.
Why in the hell she want to go back out there and relive that? I'm just be honest.
Family to know that we're there. We're 110% supportive because, again, there's no playbook on how to grieve the loss of a child.
She don't want to go back out there on that damn island. Stop it.
Every day living.
I told. Did I tell you about that? Nah, come on now. I told you about that. Now, God dang, now. Come on now. We just talked about this last night, and you still doing the same thing. Promo after promo. Let's go though.
After leaving the coroner's office with the family, was there any concern that there had been foul play?
It really didn't come up. It just didn't come up. I think that whole grieving process, and it hit her hard when they got back to the house. At what point did potential foul play or the thoughts of foul play or the accusations come into mind?
Are you watching? Good. Because it's time.
I don't know.
I think you're probably right that at that time she walks in, Josh, and she comes into a home where she knows her son will never be back in his room ever again. And when you see all the relatives come in.
Hey, Sophie, I'm glad you learned that because I had to learn that too, though. I ain't gonna count. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I had to learn that too. You have to click. Sometimes you can't even double tap. You have to click the top of the screen. I know. That's crazy work.
It gets real. It's real.
It made me miss out on life.
Pictures of Nolan are still out. I mean, all the family photos are there, and I don't know when it hits you that that's all you have going forward. That's it. Photos and memories. Photos and memories.
So, ma'am, if I can say one thing.
Please do.
I hear the emotion in your voice, right? I can hear.
Damn, how old you is now then, Sophie?
That's a sympathetic emotion for that mother.
You said you were 68 then.
Knowing that she is, at that point when she walked through that door, it became real, and it became the hardest day, the beginning of the hardest time of her life.
I mean, I appreciate all ages are welcome over here, but I was just saying.
I pray every day for the peace and comfort. But ma'am, seeing that coming from you, and understanding the emotion behind it and what this lady's going through and what this family's going through and what the community's going through, it's very important. it's important to know that there's a lot of people that are extremely upset, and they lost a community member who was loved and cherished.
I'm about to say.
So, it's a tough time for everybody.
Hey, I wasn't gonna trip.
Josh,
Hey, I wasn't gonna trip. If you 80 or 90 over here watching, that's cool. It's cool with me. It's cool with me. I wasn't tripping. Salute everybody in the building, though. I ain't gonna count, though.
Nolan's mother again after that day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We've had numerous conversations. And a lot of
Hold
so
up.
we had conversation about
Boy, I always come over here and troll, so I gotta
forensic
get him, though.
pathologist, the secondary forensic pathologist. She wanted one. I
Boy,
gave her
boy
a
be on that
recommendation that
jam.
I got from somebody. She also discussed an attorney. She sent those messages as well. But the majority of our conversations, man, to be honest with you, were I'd send something to her, keep your chin up and your chest out and just know that you've got a lot of people that love and support you. I wanted to give her words of encouragement because I know how important that is to a family, but also let her know that if there's any questions that she has that I could possibly take some of that weight off of her shoulders or off of her family's shoulders to help assist, that I'll do it for her. And we're here for her.
Did she have questions?
For real, guy. That nigga be on that jam.
It's
every time you come over here.
She got an attorney rather quickly, which is fine. Whatever, that's on them. Again, the conversation turned into very cordial. Thank you. Thanks for the prayers.
Hey,
now we did have a conversation.
Salute Bama girl for that $20 super chat. Appreciate that, gang.
Darius Manyweather, and I brought her up to speed on that case.
W.
And she said, and she told me explicitly, please give the prayers, our prayers to the family of Jadarius, which that was very important as well because as a grieving mother, she wanted to express her concern.
I'm trying to ding. Respect
to
Kyle.
another family who lost a young child.
Joining us tonight, special guest, Cajun Navy Incident Commander Josh Gill. If you know or think you know anything about the death of this young man,
anything, if you know anything,
dial 228-769.
If you know anything, gang, 125,000 reward. I know. Hey, I know a lot of y'all pockets hurting right now because I don't by the donations that's in here.
Horn Island.
No, I'm just playing. Hey, listen though, guys. Will they find out what really happened? What will they find out? What really happened to Nolan Well, gang? I don't know, gang. I'm gonna be honest. Do I think something happened to Nolan Well, gang? No comment. No comment. I'm gonna be honest, gang. I told y'all, said over and over, and y'all said I was tripping, so I just don't comment. But how I really feel deep down, he might have pulled a Theo. I've been saying this, guy. He might have pulled a Theo. But hey, gang, we're gonna sit back and watch it all. Cause remember, they still gotta present it to the jury. The other autopsy results. Hold on, right quick, gang. So we're gonna see what that we're gonna see what the autopsy results. We're gonna see what the jury. What the hell? We're gonna see what they present that to the jury. We don't know when, gang. It can be next month. It can be a couple months from now. It can be sometime next year. Who knows, gang? I'm gonna be honest with you. Who knows when they gonna present that to the jury? Like, why is they waiting so long? So they said, pull a what? A Theo. You ain't never heard of a Theo? Yeah, y'all know what happened to Theo, man. Stop playing, man. He went off on the deep end. Yeah. He might have pulled it. He might have, gang. Like I said, I wasn't fucking there, gang. I can't say exactly what fucking happened to Nolan. I can't come to y'all and say, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was there. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. If I knew, gang, I have 125,000 in my pocket right now if I knew something. No cap, gang. But I don't know, gang. All we could do is sit back and spectate and give our opinion on what we think happened. No count, gang. But let's get into some of this. We're gonna keep our eyes on that Nolan. Well, y'all know we've been covering Nolan well since day one over here. Y'all know we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep going, covering all type of topics. But let's jump into this Carmelo Anthony situation. Austin Daddy, yeah, he said he done had enough. But let's go, gang. Let's get to what he had to say. Let's go, gang.
Case.
Sure.
How did it get that way?
It's real simple. The other side decided to bring it up. My first question was, one, where's his parents? How was he raised? Why did this happen? Not, oh, he's black, he must be guilty. It never even crossed my mind.
This is what Austin Metcalf dad said when he first came out. He didn't come out hating them. He didn't come out saying nothing about black people. And then he showed up at the press conference trying to make amends with two families coming together. But they got ignorant activists up there leading their family off a cliff. This shirt was on popular demand.
All right, see, there you go, too.
They saw the basketball player wearing
All
the shirt.
right. There you go, too. There you go. Stop 6 in the mix. Let's go, gang.
Thought he did a pretty reasonable interview. At least he was honest. Let's juxtapose that or compare that.
Let's go, gang.
Carmelo Anthony's family. You can say what you want to say about Jeff Metcalf. I think he said some foolish things, some crazy things, but at least you know where you stand. And at least he's honest about what he's saying. At least he's standing on business. Where's Carmelo Anthony's parents at? Now that it has come out that he brought a gun to school and all that, where's his parents coming out? Listen to how Jeff Metcalf take accountability for his son's behavior and actions. Roll the clip.
For the first time since a judge denied the appeal of Carmelo Anthony, we're hearing from the father of Austin Metcalf about new details released at court.
Gut-wrenching.
Jeff Metcalf says he didn't know all the accusations about his son's behavior. Lawyers say Austin Metcalf previously got in trouble.
Wait. So you actually saying you didn't know about how your son was acting and what he had going on in school? Nah, I think that's a cap. I ain't gonna cap. I just think it's cap. I'm being honest. How in the hell you don't know? Never mind. Let's go.
For graffiti and KKK, kill all black people.
Oh,
used
man.
the N-word and bullied a black student.
The stuff that came out, I'm not proud of my boys for doing that. They got punished at home for that behavior.
No, they did, because you say you didn't know.
It's not what I believe.
Jeff Metcalf.
No, you did. How did know? You just said you didn't know their behavior. Then you said they got punished at home. Stop it. Come on now. Let's tell it right. Let's tell it right now.
I would pay $1,000 right now to Carmelo Anthony's family if they would come out and say the same thing that he just said.
Hold up, gang. Wait.
I don't condone it. It's
Wait,
not
man.
right. I'm not proud of it. I'm disciplining them for the behaviors that they've bestowed or they've shown. I want to hear Carmelo Anthony or any other black person. Now, I'm not going to give you $1,000. It's just his family. But any other black person that's in here defending Carmelo Anthony, how about you say you don't condone his behavior? You don't condone him bringing a gun to school, drugs. You don't condone him trying to bring a gun to a state fair. You don't condone the message of him talking about killing his girlfriend and all this other crazy stuff he was doing. But the problem is these type of people cannot take accountability for anything. Roll the clip.
Criticism for his own racist comments, said at an event for the foundation he started in Austin's name that he doesn't want people to judge his son only on a snippet of his life.
I would ask these people, did you know my son personally?
The appeal also contained new revelations about Carmelo Anthony, including that he threatened an ex-girlfriend and texted repeatedly about violence, including writing, "When I stab somebody, I'm going to lick their blood off the blade." In a new statement to ABC News, Anthony's attorney says his legal defense is not intended to diminish Austin Metcalf's life or his family's grief. Legitimate questions about racial fairness, equal treatment, public access, judicial impartiality, and the constitutional process cannot be dismissed as merely bringing race into the case. These new details from court were
Hey, for real, gang, he was.
a deal the lawyers made before the trial, which Jeff Metcalf says he didn't know about.
Do I wish it would have come out? Yeah.
From both sides, you wish all the information come out.
Look, when you got 20 pages versus 75, and then these words versus these words,
He says if a jury knew, he thinks they would have doubled Anthony's sentence.
And you know, I get accused of taking sides. I'm just a rational person. If I'm not looking at either one of these boys' colors or nothing. If the jury heard that Austin Metcalf was a dirtbag, and then they listen to testimony of his behavior that day, and they go, well, he wasn't a dirtbag on that day. There's no evidence that he was being a dirtbag on that day. All the black witnesses were saying that Austin Metcalf was asking him politely to get up and move, and that they claim that Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor. That was testimony from witnesses, and many of them were black.
How many people think Carmelo Anthony
Now,
was
when
the
the jury
aggressor,
heard
gang? Y'all
Austin
let me know.
Metcalf,
Put it in the chat.
They go, well, he didn't do that on the day. He was a terrible kid.
Put it in the
growing
chat
up.
and light up that trash ass Reggie y'all be smoking too.
They go listen to Carmelo Anthony, and they go, he did exactly. He said he gonna stab somebody and lick the blood with a knife. He said he on the verge. He brought a gun to school. He talked about killing his girlfriend, threatening her, stalking her. Once they hear that, although he didn't present that, the image of who this young man is will limit the sympathy of the jury. And they will no longer look at him and be like, it's a young man who made a mistake. He don't deserve to spend the rest of his life in prison. Versus saying, no, this kid is a menace. They may perceive this kid is a menace to society. He is a murderer. He premeditated the murder. He fantasized about murdering somebody. And he took that murderous theology, that murderous thought process, and he executed it on that day when he killed Austin Metcalf with no remorse. And then if he don't take the stand, they don't have nothing to work off of but his words and his actions, which would have probably got him 60, 70 years in prison. All right, here's the rest of the interview. Roll it.
This case was really never about guilt or innocence. It was about how long you're going to do.
Did you get justice?
No. There's no such thing. I got handed a life sentence.
You got handed a life sentence.
So did Megan, so did Hunter, and so did everybody else in my family and her family. We don't ever get to see Austin again. We don't get to talk to him. We don't get to hug him. This guy, he still gets to see his family. It's a tragedy that he has to be in prison. I feel sorry for him.
Now y'all remember, Jet Metcalf said every time that Carmelo come up for parole, he will be there at the parole hearing. He will be there. And he said if he pass on, he said he will be making a videotape. He said if he pass on, he will be making a videotape, gang. I just want to remind y'all of that.
To the fact that his life is pretty much ruined, I don't feel sorry for what he did, though. He needs to be held accountable.
Do you have a sense of why some people can't accept that
Yeah, he said he gonna make a
they
videotape,
believe
gang.
Carmelo Anthony did not get a fair trial?
Sure. There are people in this world.
He said before he passed, he gonna make a
whatever they're
videotape.
told. They follow. They're sheep.
Can I ask you about the racial element of the case?
Sure.
How did it get that way?
It's real simple. The other side decided to bring it up.
He said it started when he was asked to leave a press conference by Anthony's parents shortly after his son's murder.
Who was not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
I think that day is when race was really entered into it. Because till that point, I never looked at it as a black and white thing. It was a right and wrong thing. That's all. Whoever did it, my first question was, one, where's his parents? How was he raised? Why did this happen? Not, oh, he's black, he must be guilty. It never even crossed my mind. It doesn't matter. I don't see color.
Next.
I appreciate that gift.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys made a secret
Stephanie.
deal to focus on what happened under that tent and exclude evidence about Anthony and Metcalf's character or past behavior.
We're not going to drag stuff from what they did in 4th grade. We're not going to drag stuff from this guy's character, because at the end of the day, it's real simple. They had 20 pages on my boys. I read it. They had 75 pages on Carmelo. I read that. If it would have came out, I think he would have got more.
After the verdict, Jeff Metcalf appeared on a podcast where he used racially charged language and disparaged Anthony's family.
What was that about?
1, yes, I said it. 2, I own it. I'm not backing away from it. If you listen to the 10 seconds before the clip and you get the context, because I'll repeat it for everybody right now. I'm not racist. Let me make something up that is racist, and I bet you it will go viral on the internet. So it's a social media experiment. I'm not going to apologize for anything, but was it my finest moment? No.
16 months after Austin was killed, his father said...
That's called white man math. No, just...
Nah, so we give him a pass on that?
Say, girl.
So I was about to say, so we give him a pass on that? I was just finna say that, bud. So we give him a pass on that? Oh, man. But he said he wasn't looking to go viral. No, he said, man, I wasn't looking to go viral, man. Stop it. He said, what is y'all talking about? I wasn't looking to go viral. Was that my viral moment? No, I've been going viral. Though he said, I've been going viral. What are you talking about?
Girl, man, white man, right there.
Hold on, let me go back. I want to make sure I heard it right. I'll make sure I heard it right.
Internet. So it's a social media experiment.
Hold on, wait.
I'm not going to apologize for anything, but I'm not backing away from it. If you listen to the 10 seconds before the clip and you get the context, because I'll repeat it for everybody right now. I'm not racist. Let me make something up that is racist, and I bet you it will go viral on the internet. So it's a social media experiment. I'm not going to apologize for anything, but was it my finest moment? No.
16 months after Austin was
Are you talking about he was addressing the watermelon feeling thing incident? When he said, when somebody said give him a pass on what? When he said what? When he called Carmelo Anthony a watermelon feeling. I'm just being honest.
Now he did.
And old boy laughing about it. Old boy laughing about it.
That I'm not racist. I'm gonna say something to make it viral, and he did. Now, is he racist? I don't think the man is racist, but he could be. I don't know. I don't know that man personally. I don't know what he's scribbling on pieces of paper when we ain't watching. So I don't know. But he came at least and said, I want to make amends with the family.
Right, stop 6. If you don't know if he racist or not, then shut your ass up now, stop 6. Let's go.
A press conference. That to me don't seem like a racist man. When it first happened, he came out and said, leave the race alone. Don't make this political. This is one boy making a bad decision. This is what Austin Metcalf dad said when he first came out. He didn't come out hating them. He didn't come out saying nothing about black people. And then he showed up at the press conference trying to make amends with two families coming together. But they got ignorant activists up there leading their family off a cliff. I'm telling y'all right now, if they would have partnered with Austin Metcalf's dad and they would have came together as a community, I think that they would have been able to have Carmelo testify. Some people saw this stuff in the news. They probably had a little more sympathy for Carmelo and probably gave him 25 years, 20 years. But they had nothing to go off of. And I think people saw it for what it was. All right, one more clip and then we're going to move on to men and women's basketball. Roll it.
In recent weeks, Jeff Metcalf started a foundation named for his son with Bruce Carter, a community advocate who works on conflict resolution.
It's the ability to walk away, but you have to teach people that before they're in that moment. We live in a society right now that conflict is normal, so we have to prepare people prior to that.
I want to make sure no other parent has to feel this way. Now, can I change the entire world? No, but I can do my part because it starts with one step. This is the first step, but it's the first step of the rest of my life.
What do you want us to know about Austin and how he should be remembered?
He touched so many different hearts in such a short time. That boy taught me stuff. I taught him too. I was his dad. He taught a lot of people a lot of things. He was a good kid.
Maybe he was heading in the right direction. I don't know. Let me just say this because I want to be fair about this, because I told people this the last time I was doing this video, is that I wasn't perfect when I was young. I told a story about how I got arrested at 8 years old smoking weed with my cousin and when we were young, so we kind of got influenced into doing it. But I stole from people. I stole from grocery stores or the little corner store right down the street from my cousin's house. We used to go in there and steal chips out of there, put it in our hoodies. I did stuff on the stupid when I was young. I stole rollerblades out of somebody's garage one time. My daddy don't know this. We put it back, but we stole a garage. We were riding by, we took the rollerblades out, and we felt bad about it. We went back and put the rollerblades back in the garage. I got kicked out of high school after I had a scholarship to University of Arizona.
This nigga stealing rolling blades and shit.
Got suspended for trying to fight this dude over my girlfriend, who she had a fight with him, and I didn't know she won the fight. She had me running up to the school like I'm gonna have to pull up in her honor, and she won the fight, and I got suspended. What else did happen, man? I didn't got in trouble when I drank before. When I was 18, I drank and drove once, and it was bad, man. I couldn't even walk. I was so drunk, and I was driving up because I didn't want nobody to drive my car. Police pulled up right next to me. What's up? They said, what's up? They pulled off. I got home. I was throwing up for 3 days.
Damn.
And I haven't drank Bacardi since.
But you got, but what you got in the back right now?
I remember I was having a good time. My
What's
first
in the
summer
back?
at the University of
Bourbon.
Arizona, I got drunk at the weekend with my football team, and I hate going out, so I rarely went out. But this night I went out. We went to Phoenix. I was at a girl. Well, we were all at this girl house. She had fun parents. You know how parents they their kids friends. They not their parents. They friends. So this girl and another girl and there's 4 of us football players. We all over their house drinking and we underage. And she said I look like a basketball. She asked me did I play basketball. And as a football player myself, after hitting them weights like I was doing, I got offended. And I took my shirt off and flexed on her mama like this. I said, this look like a basketball player to you? I took my shirt off at this woman's house and flexed on her. That Bacardi was hitting, boy. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I didn't make my own bad decisions. I fought teammates. I blew up on coaches. I remember one time I was going to kick the door in on my neighbors because they got my car towed. My homeboy had to stop me. I was really going to kick the door in and beat everybody up in the house. Kids, everything, women, everything. I was crazy. Thank God he stopped me. You know, it's a bunch of people I wanted to put my hands on. I had fought a couple people, you know, and so I'm not up here acting like I'm better than these kids. They could have gone on like I did, got saved, and changed their lives. So I just want to throw that out there.
How y'all feel, gang? Is the Carmelo, did they, I mean, was it wrong for what he did, gang? Or no, was it justified what Carmelo Anthony did, gang? Was it wrong or was it justified? Was he getting jumped or no, gang? I don't know if he was getting jumped. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if he was getting jumped or not, gang. It like from the looks of, from the camera they showed us, I seen him pushing and shoving, and he run from under the tent. That's what I see, gang. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I can't even see who was doing the pushing and shoving, to be honest with you. I cannot see who was doing the pushing and shoving, gang. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't finna sit here and put no case on nobody. I couldn't really see that. The video they let us see, if they convicted him off of the video they showed us, then I think somebody needs some more glasses. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna count to y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, gang. Let's get into some of these other news right here. Right quick. Hold on. Let's get into some of this right here. I know y'all heard about this there. Get into some of the news right
And
here.
ain't gonna let nobody disrespect his wife.
Let's go, though.
All right, now we got past that one. D.L. Hughley and the rest of the stew-head melanated people who are the most ignorant, dumb people in the world. And I always preface this because people look too stupid to understand what I'm saying. But I'm talking about the ignorant ones, not the rational, decent folk, work hard every day, build companies, build wealth, add value to this country and their families. I'm not talking about those wonderful, amazing black people. I'm talking about these stew-head idiots. Now, here's a list, and Ari Spears with his sorry self, 2 washed-up comedians. This is what they had. They wrote this list. Ari Spears shared this list with me. Look, this is what white America is. Y'all ain't never gonna be nothing in life being this stupid. Let's go down the list one by one, starting with Texas Roadhouse employees spitting in black people's food. Roll the clip. Clip 1, you got it. Roll it.
And there's a viral post raising many questions for customers and getting a response from the company. I took a closer look at what's behind it. It started with a screenshot, a Facebook post shared across social media, making a serious claim about how some black customers' food was allegedly being treated.
I ain't gonna count. If they saying if you're black right now, do not go to Texas Roadhouse. They said they're allegedly spitting in black customers' food, gang. I don't know how true that is, but let's go. Y'all know them good ass biscuits at them butter ass biscuits. If y'all ever heard of Texas Roadhouse, they got some good ass bread though. Let's go.
Of a Facebook group called White and Proud, we're discussing intentionally tampering with food served to black customers, and the original Facebook post appears to have since been deleted. And so far, no verified evidence connecting the claims to a Texas Roadhouse employee, but screenshots of the post.
Time out. Yeah, bop that boy. Let me just explain this.
Nah, I like that bread though.
There is no evidence. This is a post alleging that there's some white group talking about what they do in black people's food. There's no evidence of that post, and this is just black people talking about what some post that allegedly exists that there's no evidence of. Since this has come out, DL and these other stew heads will make y'all believe that somehow there's verifiable evidence that this is happening. There is no actual evidence. It's not tied to any one employee. It's not tied to any one Texas Roadhouse. There is no police report and no investigation being had. Just black folks online being victims talking Texas Roadhouse. Let her finish. And don't get mad at this young lady. She's trying her best. She did say X.
They said that it didn't happen,
it's in our
gang.
DNA. The smoke alarm and the word X, we can't get it out of our DNA. Roll the clip.
And videos talking about it continue to circulate, and customers are weighing in. Some say the allegations have them questioning whether they'll eat at the restaurant again. Others are asking for proof and questioning whether the original post is even legitimate. I took a trip to the local Texas Roadhouse here.
People are saying that the allegations are none of them, not
Hey,
one person in the
salute
post
K.
said that they went to Texas Roadhouse and somebody did something to their food. Not one person in the post, according to this news outlet. Let her finish.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too with the staples in it.
To speak with the manager and ask
Listen
about the
though,
allegations.
I saw that too. They were serving the bread right at Texas Roadhouse with the staples in it. The couple that found the bread with the staples in it. How many people seen that? How many people seen that? Shout out to Shalonda for reminding me on that. For real though. But they said the people after that, they said about the staples, they came out and said, y'all must be out y'all damn mind. The health inspector just left here. So y'all gotta be out y'all mind talking about staples that was in our bread. I'm just be honest. That's what they saying though, gang. Let's go.
The manager declined to speak on camera, instead referring me to the corporate's company office for a response. I also asked the restaurant's host what business had been like today. He told me it wasn't very busy, describing it as, quote, pretty slow. But whether that's out of the ordinary for a Monday is unclear. And while the allegations are getting plenty of attention online, nothing in the viral post identifies the Abilene location or any specific Texas Roadhouse location. As the conversation grew online, Texas Roadhouse responded. On Sunday, August 23rd, the company posted an official statement saying, "We are aware of the video that is being shared with an accusation that has been made toward our restaurants. We believe it to be completely unfounded, and we take every accusation towards our brand seriously."
What I told you.
We are investigating this alleged behavior and remain committed to treating every guest with respect, dignity, and the legendary service they deserve.
So on D.L. Hughley's number one on his list is this Texas Roadhouse incident that don't exist. It does not exist. Now, here are other people who I think fall victim to the plantation mindset that's somehow accusing Texas Roadhouse with no evidence. Here is one, and we're going to play 2 clips of this, and it's going to blow your socks off. Listen to what this woman say, and I want you to pay attention as they pan the table. Look at who's sitting at the table with them. Roll the clip.
When they tell you that they're putting something in the food at Texas Roadhouse, believe them. This is me and my daughters and her boyfriend eating there, having a good time. And as soon as I finished eating, I went to the car. My eyes started to swell up. Had to be rushed to the hospital. They said it was some type of allergic reaction. Now I know what it was.
Hey, man, did slavery mess us up? Did it? I don't believe that it did, because we had a lot of great, successful black people that have come from slavery. But I wonder what's happening to black people in their mind. Why is this woman and her daughter is dating a white man? They all went to Texas Roadhouse together. This woman can't just say something, I got an allergic reaction to something there. Why is it got to be pertaining to something involving race when you have no evidence that it's race-related? You didn't show the manager. You didn't show the person that was serving you. So we don't even know if that person is black. And why can't you just be normal? Why? And your daughter dating a white boy, and you want to make it a big stuff about race. Why can't y'all just be normal? All right, here go another. I want to say something about it, but I ain't going to do it.
And I ain't never eating at Texas Roadhouse again. Logan's Roadhouse. Y'all got me f***ed up. Y'all got me f***ed up. That was all I needed to hear. Didn't I just make a video saying how they didn't want us in their establishments? They don't want us in their establishments. We need to be only supporting black-owned restaurants, period. I'm not even eating nowhere.
All right,
if the food ain't...
Just know, you can tell by the energy. She's finna continue to say something stupid for 1 minute and 22 more seconds. But let me just stop her in her tracks. No pun intended. I want to stop her in her tracks. I'm joking. Y'all get, I can't tell jokes and y'all get mad at me. You do the black women. I'm telling the joke, okay? All right, so I'm going to stop her in her tracks. I agree with her on 2 things she said. The 2 points she made, I agree 100%. Y'all need to stop complaining about these establishments and go shop at black-owned businesses and go support black-owned businesses. Why y'all even going to Texas Roadhouse or any of these other places so you can complain? I know why. Y'all know why, but y'all don't want to be honest. You don't want to go to these black establishments because many of them don't do good service and they're not cooking the food and they're not consistent. That's why you're going to Texas Roadhouse. That's probably one of the most consistent, what you call it, a steakhouse in the entire country in history. Okay, and the second thing she said is that they don't want us there. I can't verify that they don't want you there, but I do have items of evidence that may suggest why they might not want you there. Roll the clip. All right, y'all. So this is one. Next one. Go to the next one. Just tearing it up.
Somebody said we can't see. I know that. I can't be showing that. I can't show shit like that. Not me. Last time, I know that.
This is crashing everywhere.
I can't show fights on my shit. I'm be honest, not
I
mine.
can go and find 15 other.
I had got a community guidelines crack on that shit when I showed the fight last time, gang.
Y'all take responsibility at some point. If you want to,
I'm being honest. I can't show fights and shit.
Take responsibility for this crazy stuff they be doing. If you want to be an individual, be an individual. But y'all don't want to be individuals. You want to attach yourself to the lowest common denominator of the black community. And then get mad at people if they don't like that. All right, let's get to the next one. Here we go. What's on the list? 600,000 black women pushed out of the workforce since 2025. Explain that. He can't explain it. Last time I did a debate, one of these knuckle draggers was in there talking about Doge. Well, if they get rid of government jobs, this is why y'all stupid and you need to read Thomas Sowell book. If they getting rid of government jobs because of Doge, and it just so happened to be a lot of black women working in those jobs, and they lose those jobs, hey, dummy, disparities don't mean discrimination. Just because you're disproportionately affected don't mean it's race-related. And it's probably about, I don't know if you do the math, it's about 20 million black women in America. And you're talking about 600,000 pushed out of work. What are the other, I don't know, 10 million that's working? Oh, but you don't want to talk about that. Last time I checked, allegedly, the black women are the most educated women in the country as far as getting degrees. Now, I know a lot of times they ain't acting like it, but according to stuff that I've read, and I heard the person say that was a lie, but y'all push the narrative that they outworking black men, they got more degrees than black men, they doing all this stuff, but they having kids out of wedlock more than anybody else, but outside of that, but you're crying about 600,000 jobs you claim they were forced out in 2025. Shut the front door and the back door. Next one is Nolan Wells. We all know how that's going. Mom and them still ain't gave their phone over. They have nothing to investigate at this point, as far as I know. And some of the little birdies that's flying through the air is dropping little leaflets, and it looked like this is probably going to be a drowning, and nobody's going to be arrested. Now, I don't know that for a fact. Let me not jump to conclusions, but what I can say is that Warren, Jax, and Morgan had nothing to do with Nolan's death, and the people that I've interviewed have been exonerated.
How you know that?
As far as I know,
how you know that? Stop.
Communicating with law enforcement because they've not been indicted. They don't even have a search warrant to get their cell phones. They turned their cell phones over to the FBI voluntarily.
Okay. Do y'all agree with Star Six?
Boy in his heart got convicted.
Do y'all agree with Star Six?
And then they tried to get even the judge recused himself. The new judge came in record time and decided there ain't no grounds for a new trial. And I'm telling you this, as sure as I'm sitting here today, they should be glad that Carmelo Anthony didn't get another trial. Because if his previous behavior was entered into evidence, the jury would be tainted as to who he really is as a person. And this is why they didn't put him on the stand, because he would have got grilled. Then the jury would have saw all that violent stuff he said, and they would have been more punitive towards him during sentencing. Okay, we got another one. Black lynching across the South. Tell me you stupid without telling me you stupid. Let's bring up a couple of the lynchings that they've been talking about. And shout out to my brother here, Gotham City. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for standing up for me. But also thank you for keeping it real and telling the truth. This is just a couple lynchings that they claim are being perpetuated by the white man. Roll the clip.
So listen, as a black man, I'm fully aware of the history of Mississippi and black people being hung in Mississippi. But I'm also a person of truth. And when you use a few of these kids' pictures to push a narrative, when you know the truth, it's nasty work. This is nasty work. Look.
This is why we can't do the independent thinking and the liberal and conservative shit, because liberal, conservative, they're killing black people.
Who the fuck is hanging these kids? Who's hanging these kids? And one thing's for sure, black people are damn sure not hanging themselves.
Time out. Black people aren't hanging themselves. Sorry for the curse words. We will fix it. But just so you know, we got so many clips doing. My team is running like chickens with their head cut off. So just forgive us for that. But they say black people sure ain't hanging themselves. Are you sure, bro? When I was a cop, that's a way people decide to take their own lives, is through hanging themselves. Black people don't traditionally do that, but to act like black people never do that is a lie. And it's only a lie, or only you're perpetuating a lie because you want white people to be bad. Come on, put the clip on there. This is one of the young boys that got lynched.
5:59 p.m., video shows the young man carrying an electrical cord
walking towards the tree by himself.
The video appears to show him at the self-checkout purchasing the blue rope. It shows he paid $4.20 for it. You can then see him walk out of the store, and he walks across the parking lot to his truck and drives off.
Between 2:06 p.m. and 2:07 p.m., video captures the actual incident taking place. No one else is seen in the area when this incident occurred.
Here another one.
The family says that Trey's girlfriend at the time of his death provided investigators with suicidal text messages from him the evening before his body was found. So that's some information that we did not know about, you guys. We didn't know that he, was suffering from any kind of mental health or anything like that. We didn't know. This information wasn't out there. The message read that he was going to hang himself. Sophia Reed told the Mississippi Free Press on April 23rd. Sharon Candy Tillman confirmed that she had also seen the messages that her grandson had sent to his girlfriend threatening suicide, in addition to messages stating that he had made a previous attempt but failed. Candy added that in the messages, Trey's girlfriend had told him that she would call his grandmother. She said he normally would send those kinds of messages to her, and she would say, just go to bed and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Just go to bed. Wow. Like, still in the Black community, there's a stigma with mental health, and we don't ever talk about, like, hey, go see a professional, go see someone who can actually help you. We'll just go to bed, is what she told him, actually. Go to bed. His family says that the attorney who vowed a full investigation in early days has not spoken to them in 7 months. He also never gave them the final results of the independent autopsy he promised. Autopsy with funding from former NFL athlete Colin Kaepernick, Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative. More than 10 months later, Reed's family members say they feel that they've been abandoned by the advocates who pledged to stand at their side.
Okay, I'll explain now. I'll interpret it for the family if they're watching me. They never really cared about your kid. They just can grift and make money off of what they thought was a lynching from a white person. They had every reason to believe and know that it wasn't a lynching from a white person, but they pushed it to raise the GoFundMe so you can give them 40% or whatever y'all giving them, that GoFundMe money so they can get rich off the death of these black boys. But instead of people like Dale Hughley standing up like real men and saying, how about we address the mental health issue in the black community? How about we come out and find out why these young men are killing themselves instead of trying to blame the white man? How about we figure out why are we beating up each other in Texas Roadhouse instead of a fake blog of white people spitting in their food or whatever they claim that has no substance or evidence? Why don't we talk about Nolan Wells and how great of a young man he was instead of trying to blame white boys for killing him, instead of trying to get to the bottom of what happened to him like I did? They didn't. And Carmelo Anthony, how about we talk about conflict resolution and trying to get young men to lower the temperature, man? You don't always got to be putting yourself in a situation where you get violent because you feel disrespected. That's why a lot of our brothers are in prison. This is why my cousin is in prison right now. He let his attitude or his anger get the best of him, end up shooting people, and he's been there, and he got sentenced to his daughter's whole life in prison. Hopefully he's going to get out soon, but he's done 15 years already because of anger management. How about we address that in our own community? How about we stop talking about white people when we're talking about black issues and just focus on what can black people do to better the community? All right, last one, which is the crazy one.
Do y'all agree with him?
Indiana.
Do y'all agree with him?
Which is 76% black, has been without power for 12 days, as if it's white people's fault. Let's look at the news report, and you will be amazed at who's running the power company and who's the city council and mayor of this mother freaking city. Roll the clip.
This morning, thousands of residents in Gary and parts of northwest Indiana still struggling without power after a violent storm ravaged the area 2 weeks ago today. Now, the governor calling for a state investigation.
It just is not conceivable in any way what is going on.
Mary Cinco now forced to stay at a city shelter.
Man, gang, we had the same thing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, gang. We had that same thing happen. What they talking about down here in Georgia? We had the same thing when a storm came. It was called Hurricane Helena. It came through. We didn't have power for 7 days, gang. So I understand what Indiana going through right now. No cap. And guess what? It was white and blacks. It wasn't just no blacks. It was white and blacks. No cap. Let's go though.
It's impossible.
Without power, I can't take my breathing treatments.
Thousands left in the dark, including Regina Gary, still without power. She spent the past 2 weeks hunting for food and ice to keep her diabetic mother's medication cold.
That's scary for me because I don't want to make her sick. So it weighed on me pretty heavy.
Some fuming at utility company NIPSCO for not being able to restore power quickly enough and have filed a class action lawsuit. NIPSCO said the storm caused extensive damage, but that they remain committed to restoring power safely and as quickly as possible and will fully cooperate if an investigation is launched.
It's been extremely difficult, very frustrating.
Gary Mayor Eddie Milton has been pressuring NIPSCO to bring in more help to restore power at a faster pace.
Man,
Fight every single
that is scary, gang. If y'all ain't never been through that, listen, gang. If y'all ain't never been through a power outage, bro, we couldn't call nobody. You couldn't go nowhere. The roads was blocked off. Houses were destroyed. People lost their lives. Bro, that was a tragic. So I understand what they go on talking about, bro. When that first happened, when I woke up, when that storm was going on, when I woke up, it was so dark, I thought I was in hell. I'm being honest with you. It wasn't no lights, no type of light. Good thing I had my phone right beside me. That was the only thing I had my phone. Like, I'm talking about, it was so dark. I never seen it dark like that. Y'all talking about how I look out the door when it's dark? No. It was a different dark. So I understand what Indiana going through right now. I ain't gonna cap about that.
Funny thing is, why they don't tell them in the news report that the lineman got shot at? The reason that the time has been extended for them not getting the power like other places near Gary or in Gary is because of the lineman getting shot at, which delayed the power return. Now let's look at the people who run in this city, because I would think, if I wasn't a smart man like I am, if God didn't bless me with common sense and me not being a race baiter, they call me a race baiter. These fools race baiting. You say a city is being treated poorly by the white man. Look at the city council. Black, mixed. I don't know if she a Mexican or she black. Black. Everybody on the city council. 6 people or 9 people on the city council are all black. Those are the people that make decisions for the city. You just saw the mayor of the city on that press conference, and he's going to do an interview here in a second. He's black. Now let's look at the leadership at the power company that owns NIPSCO. The power company that owns NIPSCO, the executive vice president,
Black.
partner
all black
of utilities and this new company, NiSource or NiSource or whatever. Is that what it says? NiSource? The president and chief executive officer, that's the CEO, black. Executive vice president and chief operating and safety officer, he's black. Mayor black, city council black. The leadership that owns and oversees, that has vicarious responsibility for NIPSCO, which is the power company they're talking about, they're all black. All these people are black. Now here's the mayor on Don Lemon Juice's show, wrote a clip.
This is, to me, it feels like neglect. Do you think that some of that neglect
Call that man Don Lemon
comes
Juice.
from or is happening, if you feel that way? It may be in part because Gary is a black working class city.
100%. I believe a couple things are at play here.
How long?
During the...
Can we roll that back real quick? I want to roll this back.
Appreciate
I want
the
to sit in
game.
your head. This Neanderthal is a black man who runs the city. This is the mayor of the city. He knows who the city council is. He knows who's the leadership in the power company. Knowing this, he's on Don Lemon's show and says this, roll it.
Do you think that some of that neglect comes from or is happening, if you feel that way? It may be in part because Gary is a black working class city?
100%. I believe that a couple things are at play here. During the middle of the restoration process, the utility company, and full transparency, 15 years ago, or 15 years, I worked for that company, so I know about the process. They were releasing the updates of restoration, and Gary was not listed on that restoration list. Gary is the largest geographic footprint of a city that we have, not population-wise, but geographic footprint. And that was the moment that the extreme frustration came out.
They said they were so they were saying that they were letting everybody know they was gonna restore that power, but Gary, they wasn't on the list. They wasn't up yet. And I know how it is to get impatient, because that's how we was. We were like, dang, we kept asking everybody, when gonna get the power on? We're gonna get the power on, because here in different stores, this might happen, this don't happen. Or it might come on this day, or it might come on that day. Shoot, so you do get impatient when you get in a situation like that. So I ain't gonna cap. Let's go though.
Came out from the public because it would appear that we're being forgotten when you don't list out the actual restoration time frame. So that's where all of the mayhem really started to get triggered on the ground level.
As you guys can see, there was a white lady in there complaining about what happened to her. It ain't all black people that live there. If it was an all black town, and maybe they would have a complaint. But I don't know, 20+% of people that live in Gary, Indiana are white. Do they not count? Does the white man say, I'm willing to sacrifice white people to make sure them Negroes can't get no power? Are you stupid enough to believe that's true? Come on, listen to this one girl. These are therapists, they claim. Roll the clip.
This is a major city in a major country into a city that has changed the world because of what happened in the mid 60s and 50s. And it's pure negligence. The DOJ has to look into that. And
I think this it's just really kind of interesting. Yeah, I think the DOJ and a whole lot of things need to be looked at, and it's just it's really good. I mean, when you're talking about there was only so many news outlets, and now they've lost control of the news outlets, and the story kind of took a life of its own. Yep. And I think that may be signaling like a problem. Like, how do you damper it? I mean, the people that could be interested. And one thing I think is fascinating is that as I'm watching this on television and social media, I'm also noticing that all of the NIPSCO workers are white. I was really surprised by that. I thought that NIPSCO workers would be, a mix of individuals, but the people who are in charge of the electrical grid for Gary, Indiana, do not look like the residents of Gary, Indiana.
They're not. They don't look like the residents. Take the picture back up there. Well, then a picture of the black folks that's a part of the power company. They don't look. Well, call them and complain that the people don't reflect the demographics of Gary, Indiana. Call them and ask them what are they doing about the power shortage in Gary, Indiana. Put the Don Lemon interview up. Call him, who's the mayor, and ask him why they're not set up and have preparedness ready. At what point are you going to hold other people of color accountable when they're at every level of accountability in that city? Okay. We're going to move on to Jeff Metcalf's, Austin Metcalf's dad. Before we get there, this shirt was on popular demand.
All right, gang.
People wanted the shirt. They saw the basketball player wearing the shirt. It's available to you. The definition of a woman.
I told you about the promo.
At least you know where you stand.
Let's go, gang.
And at least he's honest about what he's saying. At least he's standing on business. Where's Carmelo Anthony's parents at? Now that it has come out that he brought a gun to school and all that, where's his parents coming out? Listen to Jeff Metcalf take accountability for his son's behavior.